Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today we're unpacking a really incredible story called The Girl Who Collected Starlight. It's this beautifully poignant tale that masterfully weaves together themes of deep grief, magic, and the heavy emotional burdens that we all carry around. Let's just dive right into it.
So think about this for a second. If you could capture starlight in a bottle, what would you use it for? It's a fascinating question, right? It instantly makes you think about your own deepest desires, and maybe some regrets. And honestly, it's exactly the premise we're exploring today through the journey of one young girl. It really sets the stage for a story where the impossible becomes a totally real tool to cope with the unthinkable.
So, meet our protagonist. This is 17-year-old Nora Bell. She lives in the quiet little town of Moonvale, where everyone kind of just knows her as the Star Girl. And why is that? Well, it's because of this really strange, unwavering habit she has. Literally every single night, right at the stroke of midnight, she climbs under the roof of her house and collects starlight into tiny glass bottles. She never really explains herself to the townsfolk who, laugh at her or call her weird, because she's driven by this singular, intensely secretive purpose.
To understand why, we have to look back. Exactly 3 years ago, Nora's mother vanished during a massive mountain storm. In the weeks that followed, nothing. No body was ever found. No goodbye, no final message. In the present day, Nora is left with just one thing, a small silver necklace her mom always wore. And so Nora is out there collecting this light every night in a desperate, kind of magical hope that if she just gathers enough of it, she might somehow find a way to bring her mom back.
But then, her ordinary routine is completely shattered. Picture this, she's sitting beneath the stars, and suddenly, one of her glass bottles begins to glow. And I don't mean a soft, gentle glow, it flashes, literally like lightning in a bottle. She drops it, her heart absolutely stopping, because a tiny voice echoes out from inside the glass. It just says, Nora, and it is unmistakably the voice of her missing mother. No way, right?
Nora picks up the bottle with shaking hands and whispers, "Mom?" As she does, the light gets even brighter, and three distinct words form right there inside the glass. Follow the light. This is a massive turning point. It gives Nora a literal path to walk, but also, a metaphorical path right out of that stagnant 3-year-long grief she's been stuck in. The very next morning, Nora takes action. She follows this glowing bottle into the forest, tracing a super specific, deliberate path. She goes past an old bridge, straight through this beautiful field of wildflowers, and finally arrives at a forgotten railway station that's been abandoned for decades. And right there, sitting beneath a broken clock, she makes her first huge discovery, an old wooden box. Inside that wooden box is a letter. The handwriting? Unmistakably her mother's. It's addressed to My Little Star. Now, in this letter, Nora's mom reveals a massive secret. She says that the night she disappeared, she wasn't lost to the storm. Actually, she left on purpose because someone was coming for Nora. She urges her daughter to uncover a hidden family secret before her 18th birthday, and she leaves her with this cryptic but incredibly beautiful piece of advice. Trust the stars. They remember what people forget.
Okay, but before Nora can even really process this huge revelation, she's interrupted. Enter Mr. Vale. He's the town's mysterious clockmaker, and it turns out he was standing right behind her at the abandoned station. He tells her, flat out, that she never should have found that letter. But when Nora desperately asks where her mom is, Mr. Vale drops a bombshell that just changes the entire game. He looks up toward the mountains and simply says, she is alive.
Now, Mr. Vale tells Nora that to actually find her mother, she first has to understand why she left in the first place. He introduces her to something called the starfall. It's this bizarre, mysterious natural phenomenon. Basically, it's a light that appears in the mountains only once every 18 years, and it actually possesses the power to reveal memories that are hidden deep inside people's minds.
Which brings us to her mother's true sacrifice. You see, she wasn't just a victim of bad weather, she was actually part of a secret group of scientists studying the starfall. But, as you can guess, with immense power comes dangerous people who want to weaponize it. When her mom tried to stop them, she realized they were going to use Nora as leverage to get to her, so she intentionally vanished into the mountains strictly to keep Nora safe from these people.
So here is the absolutely crucial detail. The next starfall is exactly 1 night away. Just one. Everything, Nora's 18th birthday, the 18-year cycle of the starfall, and her mother's location, it is all converging on this single upcoming night. Without even a second thought, Nora and Mr. Vale start the grueling climb up that mountain.
The climax of our story hits exactly at midnight on the mountain peak. The sky suddenly just erupts. It turns completely silver and thousands of tiny lights start floating upward, kind of like falling stars in reverse. And right there, standing on the other side of that brilliant light, is her mother. She looks older, definitely tired, but she is smiling. They call out to each other, running to finally get that embrace they've been denied for 3 long years.
But right before they can grab each other, the whole environment turns completely hostile. The mountain starts violently shaking. The starfall is collapsing. Over all this chaos, Mr. Vale is shouting that Nora has to choose. She's suddenly faced with an absolutely impossible dilemma. On one hand, she can use the power of the starfall to finally bring her mom home, but on the other, if she does that, the collapsing mountain is going to completely wipe out the village below and hundreds of innocent people along with it.
Nora looks down at the vulnerable village and then looks back across the collapsing light at her mother. And in this moment of just ultimate parental sacrifice, her mom smiles through her tears and says this heartbreakingly supportive line, "You already know what to do." She doesn't beg to be saved. Instead, she empowers Nora to make the righteous, albeit agonizing, choice. So, Nora makes the ultimate sacrifice of her own deepest desires. She takes out every single bottle of Starlight she had painstakingly collected over the past 3 years, and she opens them. The bottles fly into the sky, and those tiny collected lights merge with the collapsing starfall. They literally fuel it. Instead of tearing the mountain apart, the stabilized energy spreads across the valley like this incredibly beautiful silver sunrise. The village is completely saved.
As the dust finally settles, we get to see the aftermath. The magical Starlight Nora hoarded for years, completely depleted. Her bottles are empty, and the magic of the starfall is totally gone. But in sacrificing that magic, she gained reality. Her mother walks toward her, and the two are finally physically reunited and enveloped in a huge hug.
As they're holding each other, Nora smiles and admits, "I thought they would bring you back." Her mother just points up to the sky and delivers this beautiful, perspective-shifting realization about the whole point of Nora's journey. She tells her, "They didn't bring me back, they brought you to me." I mean, wow. The Starlight was never a tool to reverse the past. It was a compass, guiding Nora directly to her future. The narrative then gives us this really comforting epilogue. We flash forward years later, Nora is an adult now, and she's found her true place in the world. She's actually become the new keeper of Moon Vale's old observatory. And every night, local kids come to visit her just to hear the legendary tale of the girl who collected Starlight.
And whenever Nora tells these kids her story, she always wraps it up with this exact reminder. Sometimes the thing we spend our whole lives searching for isn't meant to be kept. It's meant to lead us home. That right there perfectly encapsulates the core theme. Our deepest obsessions, our artifacts of grief, the things we cling to so desperately, they're often just vehicles. We aren't really meant to hold on to them forever. We're meant to let them guide us to where we truly belong.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to turn the focus over to you. What are you holding on to in your own life that might simply be meant to lead you home? What Starlight are you keeping bottled up that you might eventually need to release so you can find your own true path? It's a super powerful thought to reflect on, isn't it? Thank you so much for exploring this amazing narrative with me today.